And we also mentioned as well when it comes to Ross, and we'll talk about it in more detail when he plays in match 3. But he's on £15,000 in the European Order of Merit, and we thought that that would be the cut-off. So winning tonight would not only get him in the Grand Prix, maybe it might get him in the Euros, but that is a great response from Smith. Oh, look what he's done. He's left 36.
After 12 again. He could get a go.
What a lie. What a lie.
That is perfect, isn't it? Oh, how has he not used it? He would have struggled to place it in better, but he couldn't get the bullseye. And Jeff Smith for back-to-back 13s on double 18. That's exactly what he's done. It's bang in the same hole again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lower quarter.
If he hit one here. And it'd leave him double 12 for the match. Don't think that's in.
It's not. But he'll take that, because it's his first chance to beat Jeff for the second time in a month. Second time to take him to Saturday on a European Tour event. 85 is now tops. Too good. And ultimately, he wins 3 straight legs.
If you haven't qualified for these this Euro Tour and the next one in Gibraltar, the final one of the year, if you're not in the World Grand Prix, then you're waiting several weeks until your next meaningful action. We talked when Peter Wright came back from his spell out in August. Oh, 5 weeks is quite a long while away for somebody like Peter Wright. Well, those sort of gaps, they're not uncommon for players lower down the rankings.
It was a very well-timed match then, wasn't it?
Or was it wasted?
Let's see. Well-timed.
Exceedingly well-timed. 14 segment. Leaves the bullseye. Oh, beautiful. Well, to be honest, the first 2 darts weren't that close to where he wanted them, but the third one was pretty much perfect. Gone back up to the 20s. He's left an awkward 98 there. Tobey's going to leave something a little bit more enticing. Ooh, double-double. Oh, and that one's gone out the board. He's even moved over to try and use that dart, and it's skewed off out the board. A real waste. And he might be wasting a glorious chance to finally beat Tobey. But it's yet more misses from Hollywood.
Big dart, big moment.
19.
It wasn't badly thrown.
Requires 16.
Oh, and it's Tobey's turn to bust by hitting the double next door. So many errors in this game. This is no longer about who can play better. It's about who can play less bad than the other one. Majority of legs, they have both had darts at double. In many cases, many darts at double. But this last leg from Bradley Brooks, with a 4th 180 of the match, leaving him 81 after 9, that might be the decisive factor.
Yeah, deserves it for this leg alone. And will get his first match darts ever against Chris Tobey.
49.
And he might get plenty of them as well.
140. Bradley requires 32.
Just leaves the finish, just to be a pest. Just to make Bradley think that little bit more. But he gets there. He said he was due one, and he's done it. He defeats Tobey for the first time in his career. It's taken 8 attempts, but bam, bam.
It said Merry Christmas. September the 23rd. Okay. It's only 3 months away.
Yeah, Christmas is all about darts.
94.
But it will feel like it here in Belgium. A big televised European Tour event.
Well, the last time we were in Belgium for a European Tour event was February 2020. And about a month later, everybody was stuck in the house for a while. Treble 16. Found. Throwing really beautifully. What a throw from Ross Smith. That 12 darter was incredible.
I'll tell you what, it's a 13 darter.
Conversation, because he would bring up the name Steve Farmer, who had to win a Players' Championship event in Newland about 10 years ago to knock Mark Webster out of the Grand Prix. Steve Farmer won the tournament and beat Mark Webster to the Grand Prix by £50. Ross Smith has got one agenda and one agenda only. Keep winning until it's guaranteed, and until maybe he's won the tournament, which would sort everything out for the next 12 months.
Well, I don't think Steve Farmer will knock him out of this one.
That's a bold call.
Ross, you require 32.
Well, it's been a statement of intent, this performance from Ross Smith. And he emphatically put Steve Beaton away. A 6-2 success. A three-figure average as well for Smith.
15 points between them. Because he's winning some legs on his own throw. If not at a canter, then certainly relatively comfortably, and he's struggling to challenge against the darts in some of them.
It's almost like he's playing two different matches. Double 12 for Yoza. Biggest conversion of the match. Maybe we're going in a different direction now. You were talking about Yoza's injury woes. At that time, he could have gone to a different barrel, different stem, different flight, trying to go with a different throw, but he's stuck with the same equipment and he's not a tinkerer. He doesn't like wearing a shirt that isn't the one he's wearing now. He doesn't like having flights that are different colours.
60.
He opens his case and he knows exactly what's there. He could describe it to you blind. Whereas you put your hand into Simon Whitlock's bag and you think, there could be anything in there.
100.
Could even be a guinea pig in there, you never know.
Yeah, well, all kinds of flora and fauna. My advice would be don't venture in, don't open that trap door.
Yeah, it's
something down there.
It's like Jumanji in there.
You require 84.
To win it. And set up a tie with Nathan Aspinall. That is a very efficient display from Jamie Hughes. Constantly holding throw.
So good at finishing it. The maverick that is Mervyn King.
Come on, Volta, is the chance. Well, 24 is sort of like 25.
He's got no chance. Van Rotherham, at the very least, wants to stay straight. But now he's thinking about more than that. Not happy with that. Almost matched that 140 he had at the start of the match. But Mervyn King now looking at that double 12, and that looks like a very inviting marker. Moving east and locating the target against poor old Jules van Dongen. His highest average before that 2021 record break of the personal best was 15 years earlier.
Wow.
Mervyn, you require 48.
Back to something normal, Mervyn here. And he finds it. Well, Mervyn King is on easy street in this match. Through his last dart, his knee nearly hit him in the chin.
56.
That's that raise of a leg.
Well, you were very dismissive of Volta in his attempt at 100 earlier on in the match.
Yeah, but he's a different player now.
He looks a different player. Can he get a different result? Yes, he can! Van Rolleghem snatches the darts out the board, stomps back to the hockey, and even Mervyn King was impressed with that.
To be Walter Van Rolleghem right now.
He could have been sat in the players' room right now, head in hands, having been done 6-0, feeling really down, having not given a good account of himself, or as good an account of himself as he would have wanted. But even if he loses this leg and gets done 6-3, he will be walking off feeling 10 feet tall from what this little spell where he has gone up against a former major champion and taken the game to him.
He doesn't want it to end just yet, you can see it. He's got the bit between his teeth. But Mervyn King looks like he's finished that pasty and got back in the car.
Yes, an unscheduled comfort break for Mervyn where he didn't look very comfortable at all. But he'll get loads of match darts here, and you would think that this will be the end of the road for Van Rolleghem.
Well, if it is, what an addition he's been. What a half hour he's given them. But Mervyn King puts an end to any hopes of it being anything more than a glorious defeat.
Players' Championship 17, where he made the quarterfinals and ultimately lost to Nathan Aspinall. But that was the day where he got a stack of maximums. I think it might have been about 25. He took out Wadey that day, Brendan Dolan and Steve Beaton. And the Beaton game, he averaged over 102. So he does have it in him. But consistency is something he's still searching for. Right now, he just wants to be explosive. And that's exactly what he's been there. Where has that been? That's an 11-darter from the clear blue sky. Good luck with that, Dan.
How long left in the match? Dedeker has got a couple of visits to wrap it up here.
Oh, that's beautifully done. Really well thought out. Mandiao has survived up to this point, but you sense his debut is about to finish in defeat.
82. 24.
So for the real deal to seal the deal. And he does. On double 12, a big puff of the cheeks.
164.
That brings up a really good point, actually, as Kim goes for another one of those. Oh, and he went for it. He was tempted because he wanted to give it to the crowd.
I don't, something about Belgian players, him and Dimmy, I'm sure, have a bigger history of going for bullseyes they shouldn't and not going for ones that they should. The Belgian bullseye madness, and probably see more of that this weekend. And he doesn't tidy up the 25, and he might end up losing the leg.
Let's have a look at what Steve does. 19. Oh, got a little bit greedy. Single 19 would have left the bull, and
54.
he left 60 with one dart. You can't do that, obviously, but you can do this, and it's now 3-1. Break a throw. But
he's only hitting 1 in 4 of his darts at double in this game, Kim Huybrechts.
well, that was an interesting play there. Going for the treble 8, obviously, because he wants to leave the bottom left corner.
He's ended up sacrificing a dart at double to get to the double that he wanted.
95.
But he still missed it. He's got 3 more, so it was a safe gambit, you feel. But it's getting more precarious.
He hasn't even been that good at it.
16.
What a chance for Steve West now.
84.
There is no way that he should be in front in this game, but he could be.
59.
Almost was.
There was no thought about going the 16 segment that time. He wanted the dart at the ball, he got it, but he couldn't pin it. And that might be the key moment in the back end of this match. Again, we're seeing those wild ones high or low into the 5 or 1, and there's just been too many. And he's battled manfully through this, as Westy.
only played on the European Tour twice before. Westie's won them both. So his 100% record against Kim on the Euro Tour stage is up for grabs now. And this is one heck of a visit.
140.
That was a very interesting play.
Tried to hit the 180 to leave double 2, but what it does mean, he gets to go to double 16.
94.
He has not had the greatest time on the doubles in this game, but he should get enough chances to win it right now.
And win it he does. He gives full respect to his opponent after a 2-year win.
If you look at the top quarter, the Michael van Gerwen one, taking on Kim Huybrechts, that obviously has an interesting narrative. But the winner plays either Adrian Lewis or Boris Kritschmar, which is a heavyweight clash in all senses of the word, as Andrew Gilding hits a perfectly timed maximum to leave himself on tops.
At a very consistent level in this game. Andrew Gilding around that 100 average. It's looking like 15 darters all the way through. In fact, winning legs 15, 16, 15. And this one could be even better. It's almost a nod there, as if to say, I didn't get that, but I'll get this.
Andrew Gilding.
And they've fought and they've done their best, but they've been unable to stop this irresistible slide down the rankings. Well, Simon Whitlock, I reckon it's probably 3 times that he's bounced back from those kinds of slides.
Well, just to give you an indication about the kind of inconsistent year that he's having, which has had some brilliance and some not so good, just think about his record against the best player this year, the man who's won the most titles, Michael van Gerwen, who Whitlock's got this ridiculous record against, off the back of one of the worst records ever seen in world darts.
Oh, yes. Yes, please. Oh, very nearly. I mean, he is doing some wonderful stuff on the board today.
Certainly enjoying himself. A smile on his face there. Despite being behind, he's keeping the pleasure running through his veins, and he might be keeping this game going a little longer. It's a break opportunity, this. 888, Simon. Well, he ends up on 88. And he hits it. And suddenly, he finds himself back in it. A hold here makes it 4-4. A chance to show his thumb for the 4th time.
Yeah. Might have a whole fist of thumbs from Gilding by the end of this. And look where he is again. Down to a finish. If it doesn't go in this visit, and that's a big ask, he's going to be well placed to see it off in 5 visits. And that's the level that he's setting Whitlock constantly in this match.
Saw Whitlock there. He knows he's in a game here. Give himself the little...
Simon, you require 106.
Come on. Starts on treble 20 again. Switches to treble 18 again. This time he finds it. And he finds that as well. What a shot from Simon Whitlock. And suddenly the race is level. Almost wasn't enough room. Clattered off the barrels, didn't it? And now Whitlock has to hit a treble. And has.
94.
Look what he's left.
Andrew, you require 156.
We will see Simon Whitlock. He has won a leg on the Euro Tour this year by going 3 balls for 150. Would he dare do it in a last leg decider? He's done some weird stuff tonight.
150.
But if he does, there are no words. Well, he doesn't go that way, so we can say some. But he'll have to face
60.
a couple of match darts
Andrew, you require 56.
if he is to progress and keep alive his hopes of qualifying for both the World Grand Prix and European Championship. Gilding gets it done. Simon showed his staying power, but Gilding strikes gold.